What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today I'm going to be doing my round 1 AFL tips and predictions. Now obviously last year I was doing it in the margin comp, but I decided to discontinue the margin comp. I don't feel like it's the sort of content I want to continue doing on the channel. So instead I'm just going to be doing my weekly tips. I'll try and get them out every Monday or Tuesday. I was sort of delayed due to the footy cards coming out the day before. I'm going to be doing my predictions for each week, and I'll also be making a big call for every game. So essentially, for every game, I'll make a bold prediction that will probably not happen. And but at the end of the week, if I get less than 3 of them correct, I have to do a punishment. So comment down below the punishments you want me to do if I don't get the bold predictions right next week. And the one that has the most likes that I find is the most appropriate, yeah, I will be doing. So yeah, I'll be going through the bold predictions, and obviously at the end of each round, I'll be going through how many I get right. And I've also added something different for my tipping each week. If I get a tip right by the exact margin, I'm going to call it the golden tip, and I'll be getting 5 points for that. And I'll tally up the scores at the end of the season to see how many of those golden tips I get correctly. So let's just get straight into the first game, which is obviously the opening game at the MCG between Richmond and Carlton. This is going to be a big game. It's always a big game. They've been playing each other for the last 6 occasions, with Richmond winning the last 6 of them. So Carlton need to show something. Otherwise, potentially their time slot for the season opener might be in doubt if Richmond continuously get the job done. I feel like the Blues will definitely put in a fight. I mean, they are getting better. They're an improving side. I feel like compared to the other clashes, this is going to be a little bit more evenly placed. However, the Tigers are obviously coming off the back for premiership. They're still premiership favourites. They're going to be really hard to beat. So I don't see the Blues, winning this game. I do see the Tigers getting the job done. I feel like it will be similar to the other games. Like, it's never really a blowout with this, isn't it? The average winning margin with the Tigers only being 27 points. So I reckon the Blues will challenge, but the Tigers will be too strong, winning by 19 points. And a big call will be the Blues going goalless at quarter time, especially with the longer quarters. This one's definitely going to be a big call, but it's happened before, and they don't usually start well, the Blues, in the season opener, so it never know, it might happen. Now, Friday night at the MCG, I'll be streaming this game. Collingwood taking on the Western Bulldogs. Now, this one is going to be a very good match. I'm looking forward to this one more than the first match, considering that these two teams are a lot more evenly matched up. They're almost a 50-50 split, so this one will be a hard one to predict. However, I do feel like the Dogs have a better list and should get the job done. I know it is Collingwood's home ground at the MCG, and last time they met, they got absolutely smashed, the Dogs. But I feel like times will change. This will be different. The Dogs will really want to make an impact and want to make a mark round 1, and I reckon the Dogs should get the job done. They really need to make use of their midfield, because they got the best midfield in the comp. If they can get the clearances and get it right early, then they should get the job done. And I'm going to predict them in a close one. They'll get the job done by 11 points, but my bold call will be for Josh Bruce kicking 4+ goals. If he can do that, the Dogs could be in for a potential top 4 spot if they can get someone like Bruce, who had a shocking season last year, backfiring. Next game, we've got Melbourne taking on the Dockers at the MCG. Now, this one should be another great game. Both sides are also quite similar in the way they play, and last time that they met, the Dockers were the better of the two sides, showing a lot of talent and class, getting the job done by 16 points. And I feel like this game will be sort of similar in a way. I feel like the Dockers will be up for the challenge. They're going to be a good side this year. I reckon they'll scare a few sides, but I feel like being at the MCG, I reckon they should just be a little bit too good for the Dockers. And I feel like their list is also slightly above the Dockers. However, I do feel like they're both quite evenly placed. Should be a cracker of a game, though. I feel like it'll be quite high scoring, end-to-end footy, free-flowing, but I have the D's getting up by 9 points. And my big call is that the crowd will be less than 20,000. Now, I know it's a massive call considering crowds are back, and I don't think this will be the case. But you never know. Sometimes with these games, the D's don't attract too many fans, especially against an interstate club like the Dockers. Next game, Saturday afternoon at the Adelaide Oval. Adelaide taking on the Cats. Now, this one should probably be a no-brainer in terms of my prediction. I mean, you got Wooden Spoon, one of the Wooden Spoon favourites versus one of the flag favourites in the Cats. The Cats will obviously have their new recruits playing. I think Smith, Higgins and Cameron should be fit and firing and ready to really make an impact in this game. Now, I don't think the Crows will be as poor as they were last year. I feel like they'll be more competitive in games, but this one, it's a no-brainer. I got to go the Cats, and I'll probably have them to win a comfortable one. having them winning this game by 44 points, with my big call being Hawkins and Cameron both combined for 10 plus goals. Now, if this does happen, then obviously it obviously shows that both of them are going to have a really big season, and that they both will link up and work well up forward. Now, next game at Marvel Stadium, we've got the Bombers taking on the Hawks. Now, these two sides are probably not going to see any finals footy this year. Not many high expectations for both of the clubs, but I do feel like this should be another good game. Even though these teams are probably going to be fighting for a bottom 4 spot, I feel like a round 1 win will be very motivating, and it might strive them to do alright this season. But the Bombers were definitely really impressive against the Cats last week in the Community Series game, and probably should have got the job done. We're just too inaccurate. However, I feel like the Hawks were probably more impressive. Jacob Kaczynski, 6 goals. Tyler Brockman, 3 goals. I mean, they're both going to be, I'm pretty sure, playing round 1. It could almost be an answer for the Hawks up forward momentarily with Gunston out. I think they will be better off against the Bombers in that department. And last time they did meet, the Bombers did get the job done and were the better of the sides. But I feel like this will be different. Hawks, I reckon, have a better list. And I will see the Hawks taking the Chocolates by 16 points. With my big call being Kaczynski gets 3 touches or less and plays a stinker. Now, next game, also Saturday night, we've got the Brisbane Lions taking on the Sydney Swans at the Gabba. Now, this one should be a pretty easy one to tip. Obviously, the Lions are threatening at the Gabba. They've created a fortress there the past couple of years, and honestly, I don't feel like they're going to drop a game at all this season at the Gabba. And the Swans, who are probably not going to be too great of a side this year, will definitely be playing better footy, and I feel like they will challenge the Lions like they did last year. And I would almost say that the Swans will take them up to the Lions up until 3/4 time, with it being 1 or 2 goal margin. But then I feel like the Lions will just take it to the next tier, take it up a notch, and comfortably get the job done. I'll predict the Lions to get up by 32 points, with my big call being another Lion has a season-ending injury. Now, I'm sure Lions fans hope this doesn't happen, and I hope it doesn't happen either, but just got to go for a different call, and I reckon that there's a chance of that potentially happening. Now, first Sunday match at Marvel Stadium, we've got North Melbourne taking on Port Adelaide. Now, this one is another no-brainer. I'm pretty sure like 98% of people are going to be going the Power. I know it's an away game for them, but it doesn't matter. We saw how much they punished the Crows in the pre-season games, and North were lackluster against the Hawks as well. They just don't have a great list. They're not going to be doing great at all this season. The Power obviously should get the job done, and I will be predicting a big margin for this one. I reckon Power getting the job done by 56 points. With my big call being Boak and Wines having 65 or more touches between them. Those two are going to be really important in the midfield for the Power, and I reckon they should have big games against North. Now, next game, the one I'm looking most forward to, we've got GWS taking on the Saints at Giant Stadium. I'll be going to this game, so I really do hope we play some good footy and can get up potentially. I feel like this could almost be game of the round as well. I think the Saints have definitely got a better list and should do better this season. However, being at the Giants' home ground with a few of St Kilda's key outs, such as their ruckman and Max King getting hit in the head by a golf ball, what are the odds? What are the chances of that happening? Pretty unlucky. So I feel like this will be an evenly matched game, in my opinion. We don't tend to play well at all at Giant Stadium, and the Giants haven't played there in a while. I reckon it's going to be a tough game to win. However, I feel like we definitely have the capability of doing so. So I'm going to back in the Saints in a close one. The Saints will get up by 7 points. And my big call will be that the margin will not exceed 15 points at all to any side, which obviously suggests that the game will be very, very close. Now, the final game of the round, Sunday afternoon footy, we've got West Coast taking on Gold Coast at Optus Stadium. Another one that should be a no-brainer. You got to go the Eagles with this one. Although last year everyone thought the Eagles would smash the Suns, and obviously that didn't happen. So nothing's impossible. You never know with this game. But being at Optus, I mean, I just cannot see the Eagles dropping this one, especially against the Suns. They've got more experience. I reckon also the longer quarters should help the Eagles more than the Suns. So yeah, the Eagles should get the job done comfortably. I feel like the Suns will put in a bit of an effort and a bit of a fight. But the Eagles should get the job done by 35 points. And my big call will be Matt Rowell will be back to his best. And I reckon Matty Rowell will have 25 touches or more and kick 2 goals, which will just elevate himself even more and could almost soon be a talk of one of the best players in the comp. So there you go, guys. That is my round 1 predictions all done and dusted. Remember, if I don't get 3 or more of these bold predictions correct, you can comment down below a punishment I have to do. If I get any of these tips exact with the correct margin, then And then yeah, it'll be counted as a golden tip and it'll be worth 5 points. Now before we go, I'll quickly announce that I've got a tipping competition on ESPN Footy Tips. So yeah, the pass will be up on the screen and will be the first link in the description and the pinned comment. So if you want to join, I'll probably give away a prize at the end of the year. I haven't figured the prize out as of yet, but I'll probably have one out. So yeah, feel free to join the tipping comp. Let's try and get 100 people join. I did do one last year, but I didn't announce it as much as I wanted to. So yeah, if you want to join, link in the description. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more AFL content and stuff like this. Weekly predictions I'll try and get out Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon in my next video.